comes along. Just give you a few quick updates anyhow. I know I have talked with Catherine Silversmith a couple times since we last met. She's obviously on board and had some input on things that we've done to date, and I'm still trying to get a hold of her to meet with her one last time before next week. But I think it's just working out a few details of what she'd like to talk about or whatever. But so that's going along. I think okay. I haven't had a lot of feedback from the um, emails that I sent out. um, I think probably had two or three people, respond back. I've run into a few people either at the farmers market or when I was at town hall and talked with a few people. So I mean, there's more people aware of it that are coming that just haven't responded. But kind of the way it seems to always be. It's I think there's more people that'll show up than have responded, or hopefully. But if we have 10, 15, 20 people, and we'll go with what we have. I'll try to send out another email blast of the emails that I have. Again, if you know of anyone else, any other groups that you think might be interested, neighbors, friends, um, pass the word around and let them know. Because I think obviously there is some interest from the people that I've talked with are obviously interested in. I think they'll have much to participate in and with and provide some good feedback. So
Will there be another announcement in the Ashford community uh, Facebook thing?
we could do another one there.
Um,
I don't know whether you want to do it. I can do it. I can do that.
okay. Yeah, I don't generally post them.
Yeah.
But, um,
Yeah, my computer. I don't know if it's been acting up. I tried doing one today on the Our Town, Our Future, and it's posting stuff before I was ready. I couldn't get a carriage return on the stuff I was writing. Every time I did that, it decided to post it on me. But finally got something in there anyhow.
good.
But yeah, I think I'm not never sure what is the best way to reach people. I always find the highest rate of return is when you're speaking face to face with somebody, and they kind of you can explain things and what have you. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot going on. I think the next week or two, so things are starting to ramp up in people's lives again
Right.
after they got all the kids off to school. So well, it'll be what it'll be. Um,
Has
and
it,
go ahead.
sorry, has it actually been on the community Facebook page? Because I
Yeah,
didn't see it.
you didn't see it. That you saw it. That you saw it, right? I
I
didn't.
saw,
I'll
I
check
didn't.
it. I'll look for it.
If not, put it out there.
I thought somebody else posted it. Not you, was it that Dan Melnick or whatever? Somebody I remember seeing like someone else had I don't know, but unless I imagined it, I think I saw it. I was glad to see it.
Now you didn't bump your head when you fell off the horse, did you?
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, we could get it back on there. I mean, it's sometimes I think you give people all the lead time and people forget about it. So the more stuff closer now, this next week here is, you know, going to be the blitz. And I know Margaret was working on the signs. I haven't touched base with her, but I think, those lawn signs, I talked with Catherine Silversmith about putting those out, getting one down at the transfer station, at town hall library, and then around town. I don't know if you guys have any ideas of good spots to put it. Um, but I think certainly those there, maybe one at the package store. I mean, those are kind of those places people frequent. I know the
Yeah.
transfer station gets a lot of play. I'd say 70% of the people go down there at least once a week or so. So,
Wow. Wow, yeah.
but hopefully if Margaret joins us, if not, I'll give her a call tomorrow and see where the signs are at. I'm pretty sure she ordered them. If she did, I'll go pick them up and put them down there Wednesday. at the transfer station.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't. If anybody's had a chance to look at the, I mean, I've given the agenda to Catherine Silversmith a couple of times. I think she's, you know, pretty good with the thought. I did send out to her the last time. Remember the last time we talked about maybe doing a little bit differently, putting up the previous results outputs from the breakout groups from the last community forum, and then putting those on the wall and then giving people dots, and they can go kind of put a dot on one that they think is their priority to kind of, you know, kind of get things thinking again as to what we did the last time and what maybe. Yes, go ahead, Nora.
I was thinking instead of dots, that if we had 3 different colors of Post-its, then we would be able to, it'd be more visually interesting. So if you had like a red and a pink and a blue or something, then you could really see where people were putting their important, you know, their level of importance on it. So
Okay. The question I have is, are we going to put like a number 1, 2, 3 on the colors or something, or just tell people to, so they have to remember the color code?
Yeah, I mean that's why I think it would be
Mm-hmm.
just easier for us if they didn't have the numbers, because we have to write them on there, right?
Yeah.
And then, but if it's a color, then you'll be able to see where, you know, are they spread out or are they all on one, or, you know, whatever.
So you're saying
So I thought,
3 different colors for like 1, 2, 3, or just to get three colors for their choices, or what's I'm trying to follow what you're thinking. A color for, you know,
one color for their first choice, another color for their second choice, and a third color for their third choice. And then it's a more visual thing. I would like to talk to Margaret about the posters that she was talking about. So maybe I'll send her an email, because I know she's really busy, but if she, you know, that stuff probably needs to be purchased. So I would not mind being in touch with her about getting that and getting those signs made for the different categories.
yeah,
Is that okay?
I did actually pick up, I have the ones we had from last time and the big post-it. So I don't know whether, I mean, if that's something you want like to do, I mean, I don't print very well, and I think the ones we had from last time, you know, they weren't, the handwriting, probably was my handwriting, was kind of writing fast. I did send everybody the, you know, I can't see that, right?
No.
You have the breakout group things from last time. It's got the 5 different things we had that were, you know, how to increase tax base and find other sources of revenue, how to develop a strategic plan, future change for the town. The third item was how to approach the need for more senior housing and affordable housing in town. The fourth item was protect and preserve environment, history, and rural character. And the fifth was how to engage younger residents in town issues. And underneath each of those categories, there were quite a few things. As a matter of fact, on how to engage the younger residents in town, there's probably like 25 bullets, you know. So I guess the challenge is, you know, how do you put those 5 items? Do you put any specificity underneath them for people to understand what that's trying to intend, or you just leave the one category? But if you'd like to do those, I have the post-it bulletin board. You know, it's a big yellow pad that, if that's what you were thinking about. And you have good handwriting, right? Because better than me. So is that what you're looking at, or did you have, or were you thinking of another idea? I thought that was what Margaret was talking about. No.
I'm having a hard time hearing. I am asking my husband to bring up his computer.
My only hesitation in making too big of a deal about what we talked about in the past is I'm hoping people don't rely on if it would inhibit them thinking about new things, or just like a crutch of what was brought up before. You know, I think we should keep things more fresh. I see your point in reviewing what was discussed before, but that was a while ago, and I want people to be thinking forward about things. And if they come up with the same stuff, that's great, but um, I don't want to inhibit their thinking. That's so I wouldn't want to dwell too much on what we did in the past, being that we didn't follow through with a lot of stuff. Not that it was our fault, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, it's the kind of the what do you do to cart before the horse here, or I do. I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to be a horse joke either. Sorry. Um, I think I kind of agree in some degree that if we just maybe we have them there, and when people get done, then we put them up to say, okay, look, the things were similar ideas from last time, or hey, you all remembered what was important, or the reality is these are the important things. They don't seem to change over time.
right,
Uh,
right.
and maybe that is how we, before we contaminate people with something, so they have to think about something new. Um, I kind of like that idea, but what do you think, Nora? She can't hear us.
You may not be here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We can wait.
Your voices are distorted, and so I sent you an email with the link, the Zoom link. Can you open that on your computer for me? Sorry. Yeah, I think that you're right about I think I caught this much. I have to get a new computer. The topics is what you're talking about, right? But the way Margaret described it, I think was good, that it was a sort of an icebreaker, and it gets people moved into the room and they're interacting with those posters. So I think those are fine. But then I also suggested last time that we have a blank one for
Right.
ideas. I don't know if you said that just now.
Yeah.
But I think that would be very helpful, and people can write it on there themselves, perhaps.
Well, and it's good to have an icebreaker too, but we are requesting that people come prepared. We did give them questions that we wanted them to answer, so that I think that would be helpful for people.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to know how this thing actually takes place. So the people come, they stick their stickers up on the posters, or maybe write a new topic. I'm hoping everyone will be chatting. And then the meeting gets started. So Mike, I assume you'll call that meeting to order.
Yeah, I mean, what we've done that seems to work best is we go there, I get there early, and we set some chairs kind of in a circle or a semicircle, so people aren't looking at backs of heads. Everybody's kind of facing each other, so to speak. And then if you look at the agenda, that Catherine Silversmith was going to kind of give an introduction, welcome people, and then we had it that we proceed to, where is it? We had it here someplace. That we would.
I'm going to switch computers, so hang on.
Okay.
Getting a tour of the room.
Turn 8 years old. Leave the meeting.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear you.
They can't hear me. They can hear me. Okay, I'm good.
Start the video.
And I can hear them too. Well, where's the start to video? Where is it?
Down
Here
at
we
the
go. Okay,
But I don't see Mike anymore.
it's me,
Nora.
not my husband. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. I can hear you now. Yeah. Anyway,
But
I'm sorry. So then, so there'll be different groups of people, with topics that they want to discuss that will be
but
separated into different discussion groups.
um, what we've done in the past is if I just go through the agenda here, we were going to have people come in and explain, why we're doing this again, and what our town, our future is, because there are a lot of people who don't understand or know what our town, our future is. We're trying to build upon what we've been doing over the last, many years, and more in particular the last session. And then we want people bring forth their ideas. Now, what we've done in the past is, people count off, with seeing how many people there, say count them off by say, fours, and so it'll be four groups, and then everybody goes into a little group, and then we have them, basically think of things that they feel are important for in Ashford, what they want to see happen, whether it's a project, whether it's an idea of, an organization or something they want to do, like the dog park or whatever, and then we let them talk about that in the group for, you know, 10, 20 minutes or whatever. Then we have everybody come back and kind of give their little report on what they identified as important in their group, and then we put those on the board, and then we kind of have people kind of discuss them and rank them, so to speak. We could go back with the post-it thing again if we wanted there, and say, okay, here's these five more new ideas. Let's everybody kind of put down, stick them on, post it on what you think is your number one priority of these five things, or two, or whatever we want to do. In the past, we've asked them questions, whatever, to stimulate an idea, but when we've even had like kind of more of a free for all, call it, where just let people identify, come back with two or three ideas of things you want to see happen in town, that usually generates some ideas, and that's what we've done the last few times, I think. So, but anyway, we're open. I mean, I'm not married to anything at this point. I'm just kind of those are the kind of things we've done in the past, But the idea, the bottom line at the end, what are we trying to get at the end product of the evening is, okay, what are some of the ideas that people feel are important to the community that we should work on, and then from there, are there people that are willing to be part of that process of working on those things? That want to take a true stake, become a participant in that process with that particular topic. Some of them, like some of them that came out, the last one was on revenues and things, increasing the tax base, and one of them was grants. And the first one in the board of selectmen are working on that right now. So that was something that came out of that last group, and they've actually identified that, put it into the budget process. They're trying to hire somebody to be somebody that can work for the town to go after grants. So that's the kind of thing. Some of them may have staff identification of a place where that should be housed and worked on. So the other ones, like we had, I just go back to the Ashford Arts Council, where a group of people said, hey, we want to get together. Well, 3 or 4 people, and they decided to meet afterwards and start working on it. And I think we might have gone to 1 or 2 of those meetings to help facilitate it or guide them and give them ideas and things. But that's kind of how these things have kind of bubbled up and moved forward in the past. But we're open to new ideas, new ways to stimulate ideas, and a way to get engagement. I mean, that's really what this is about, is trying to get people more involved. Because if you look, a lot of times it's the meetings, a lot of the same faces, and we're trying to get more people in the community involved and invested in doing things, not the same, say, 2 dozen people,
I may have missed what you said too, but like in the past too, we have briefly gone around in the circle and people have introduced themselves.
Yeah, that was on the agenda as well.
Yeah, because that's important, I think.
Oh, that reminds me. You want to have name tags? That you could stick on?
Yeah, we could. I don't know if we have any left over. I could check.
I think I might have some.
Okay.
My desk is a mess. I don't know if I can find them.
Yeah, I have a sign-in sheet that we used. so we can follow up with people. And but I mean, it's kind of we have to decide which way we want to go with it. And I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. So
okay.
People just like to talk and be heard, and what we don't want to do, what we've learned is if you have one big group, you'll end up with one or two people that want to monopolize the whole evening. So at least if you break it into smaller groups, and then what we usually do is we go around and we make sure that everybody's participating, that somebody isn't just taking over that one group. And I've gone over and said, oh, hey, what do you think? What do you think? Try to pull people that are shy or to get them involved, so you've got more participation. And when you go around the room, like Maureen was saying, when people introduce themselves, a lot of times people will give kind of what their ideas are. And we listed all those the last time too. But there's a lot of times you have a group that's there and they're representing a certain segment of the population or an interest. So, but anyhow, thoughts? Good.
Go ahead. From the past too, I think one of the issues is time management, because once people have talked in these groups, they're fired up and they want to talk, and which is good, but I think we should make sure we allow enough time for that.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. Even when we do the going around the room, we basically tell everybody you have like 3 minutes, and
right.
Can you wrap it up? Because we've had a few people that would talk all night.
Not me.
Huh? It wasn't.
So are you comfortable? Are you comfortable stopping people, Mike?
Oh yeah, I've done that my whole life.
Okay.
No, it's I've been watching the debates on
That's
TV.
an important skill.
Do it. Huh? Yeah, get the mute button. I bring duct tape and I just tape it over somebody's mouth.
The question
that's the Ashford mute button. And that could be a sticky situation if you use the tape. But anyhow, any other thoughts on which way do you want to go? Because we talked last time, we talked about the kind of what we identified in the agendas, have the boards as they come in, have to give them the notes or dots or the posties, put them on the things we did before with the blank sheet. They can add something, but doing a little introduction for selectmen, kind of tell them what's going on, do the introduction of everybody around the room, and say, okay, we're going to break up into whatever group. If there's 30 people there, you do maybe 5 groups of 6 or something, or if there's whatever. You kind of see what the room has and kind of make it a manageable group of number of groups, and then you let those people go out and say, hey, we want you to come up with 2 or 3 ideas. We're going to give you 15 minutes to talk about it, and come back, and then we're going to write them on the board, and then we're going to give everybody post-its again, and you're going to stick one on what you think is your number one, and maybe we give them say, would you change? Maybe maybe ask them, do you want to change any of the what you put on one of the original 5 ideas to one of the new ideas? I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility too. I mean, just the bottom line is we're not looking necessarily to throw out any of these ideas either. I mean, we make a long list. If we come up with 50 ideas, there could be 50 potential ideas that either some people work on, or another byproduct of all this too is I talked with Catherine about this a little bit, and then I talked with Jeff Silversmith briefly about it. But anything we have as an output of this meeting, we just turn over to planning and zoning and say, here's some other ideas that came up in this group meeting that could be rolled into some part of the POCD if you want. It's public input, it's public feedback, and I'm sure there's everything will have some relevancy in some part of the POCD.
I think too that you've done a wonderful job communicating, and I think that the initial group that shows up is good, but I think if we prove that we're genuinely interested in this and we have the follow-up that we weren't able to do before, and can make this an ongoing process, I think that more people will be drawn into this if they understand it's a real thing that everyone is being heard. So whatever, whoever shows up, this is just the first of hopefully many of these forums. So
Yeah, I think even if you look at the things that we, does everybody have those breakout sheets that I sent last time? If not, I can send them again. But if you look through that list, there's actually been things that have happened in the last, 2 years, just about a year and a half, 2 years, that you could check off saying, hey, it's either being worked on or it's done, So it's not like those things, nothing happened in the last couple of years. Probably some of it was going to happen or kind of got pushed along by some of the things that came out of this meeting and conversations people had. So, but I think certainly you're right. I mean, I think it's the toughest part is trying to keep this momentum going. It's because, it's a lot of time and effort. And, then there's, unfortunately, things tend to always go 4 times slower than you want them to go. But I think it's identifying people that are willing to kind of step up and commit some time and effort to work on things too,
Right.
So it looks like we're not going to have a quorum. So
okay.
I think.
So one.
Go ahead, Nora. Go ahead.
So the POCD writing committee met a week ago or 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago. Our next meeting is the 22nd of October, which is the Tuesday after this forum.
Okay, good.
And I assured them that we'd be able to have a summary of what was discussed.
Good.
To bring to it. So we can either talk about it on Wednesday. If people actually leave at 9, we can have a quick discussion about how that's going to be done, how the notes might all get put together. I don't know. Or, I mean, I would be happy to do that part. If, I'll be taking notes, but probably I'll miss something. If other people want to share their notes, then I can put it all together, and then I'll circulate it among the OTOF committee to make sure it's a good reflection, and then I'll present it to the POCD committee. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yep. And that's what we've done in the past. Okay. Is we've all kind of scribbled things and we kind of fill in the blanks. And, I think we've ended up with a pretty good synopsis of the evening. So, I think we've been able to capture the intent of what people were thinking. So good. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So as far as, let's kind of make our own little decision here. So when I meet with Catherine, I can at least say, okay, this is the game plan. So do we want to still proceed with putting up the five items that were kind of discussed the last time or the output of the last time? Do we want to hold those back and just have people come in and have them go around the room after and just talk about things, and then we break into our groups, come back, put everything with the items that people come up with, and then kind of just turn over the ones we had the last time. I know it's kind of how do you bridge from where we were to where we are today type thing. You have to kind of say something about that, right? So it's the kind of the old catch-22.
Okay, so I'm looking at the breakout groups that you sent to us. And there are 5 of them, is that correct?
Correct, yep.
All right. So are those going to be the posters?
Well, that was what we talked about the last time, is having one sheet for each of those. And then when people came in, they could kind of identify what was their priority of those 5. And then have the blank sheet where if they had something else they wanted to add.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that was the list.
Yes.
That I was talking about the same list that you're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
For the posters. Okay. Thanks.
The one thing I've always found it's hard to do sometimes. Like we're trying to get people an icebreaker when people come in, you have a hard enough time getting them to sign in. Then they kind of go off. Even if we've had them do something, they kind of, it's like herding cats sometimes. And so then, not everybody kind of knows what they want to go talk. Oh, there's somebody I haven't seen in 3 years or something. So I'm not sure whether how successful that would be. It's kind of like, it kind of breaks down real quick. It always seems to happen that way. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Maureen, when you've seen it? People.
Yeah, it's I mean, people haven't seen each other for a while, so I think there'll be a lot of that going on, and yeah, but that's good.
But we could still do it. We could put the things up there and
Yeah.
still have the post-its, different color post-its. I think I got 3 different colors I could bring.
Okay.
And have the blank sheet. So did you want to take the big post-it and break these down into clearer clearer handwriting, or you
mean having those 5 topics on a poster? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
So you want new posters?
I have some post-it material. It's actually big, big sheets, or like 2 by 3.
This needs to be written on.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably buy some kind of stencils or something to outline them, because my handwriting's not gorgeous.
Yeah,
but yeah, I could do that if you'd like.
Okay.
I could want me to come and pick those up?
Sure.
From you?
Yep.
Okay.
You weren't out bike riding today, were you?
I'm going to write that down.
Were you out bike riding today?
I'm way out Boston Hollow Road, almost into Eastford. You turn left just before you cross the bridge. That's my street. But I can come get them from you, because I'm going to be out and about. You're more central.
Okay. So let me know when you want to swing by.
Yeah. Can I have your phone number?
Sure. 860-214-6306.
6306.
That's my cell phone.
And just so you know, that it's me, mine is 475 298 3388.
Okay, thank you.
Were we going to have water bottles? Did we mention that?
Yeah, I'll bring some water.
Okay.
And I'll have the sign-in sheet. Take a look. I'm gonna, like I said, I talked with Catherine last week. She was kind of on the fly, and so we said we'd get together this week. And I happened to stop by there today, but she was tied up in a meeting, so I hope to get together with her the next day or two, just to kind of go over this final agenda and make sure she doesn't have any agita with anything. But I think we can kind of follow this we don't even have to hand this out. We can kind of use it as a guide too, But I think it's just a little bit of structure, and then we can identify kind of the timelines. I think if we're going to break people out into those groups, I'd say 20 minutes at the most, because people end up taking 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that way we can at least give them a chance and make sure that everybody's participating in those groups, and give them the assignment to come back with 2 or 3 things that they identify that they really think should be looked at or done, or are important to the community. And some of those may be deep subjects like we kind of had before. Some of them maybe, hey, I want to have a Mexican restaurant in town, or something. Who knows? But those are the kind of things that at least we get on a radar screen, and find that are important.
They're going to open they're going to open a Five Guys restaurant down there opposite the Big Y. Or it's probably farther. It's almost in Willimantic on 195. You know what? Five Guys is a big burger place.
Yeah.
And there's a Chipotle's is going to be in there also.
Yeah, they opened.
It's right next to the car dealership. Yeah. It's still a long, it's a half hour for me to get there, but
yeah, I mean, it's, we lost caches, which is too bad. And I don't know. I don't know how Midway is. I think they're doing okay. But yeah, we're still lacking restaurants in this town. We're trying. The guy down on 74, we've been working with him for a few years, and just can't get close with somebody, and then it falls through. So
it's too bad.
yeah. Okay, so that's kind of, I'll when as soon as I catch up with Catherine, I'll just send back and finalize kind of the approach here on things, so we know it's clear. But our rule, and it's probably only going to be the three of us there that evening because Gwen's got a conflict. It turns out it's Margaret's birthday, so she's going to be celebrating with her husband. I don't know if Dick's able to get out still. And then Ray's wishes us good luck and all that, but he's kind of bowing out. So what our role will be to, kind of have people come in, make sure they signed in. If we're going to have them do the post-it, to kind of give them instructions on that, point them in the right direction, let them know that we're going to sit in the, where the seating will be, although it should be obvious. But and then also to take notes during the evening as best we can, and everything and anything, and every little point, especially when everybody's going around, introducing themselves, try to capture who they are, what there's an organization, what their priority is. And I'll send to you. Did I send you the last time the printout on the organization priorities? I must, but I'll send it again just so you have that.
What time do you want us to be there, Mike?
Well, if you can be there sometime between 6:30 and it's a 6:45.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's going to take much to, we usually put out like 20, 25 chairs. If we need more, we put out more. And then, it's just put up the one table when people come in so they can sign in. There'll be, water there if they want water. Yeah, and then it's kind of easy from there. The biggest thing is just taking notes and what have you. The only other thing we'll look and we'll get in there is nothing's changed. Whether we use that one wall where we can put a post-it, and when we bring everybody back together, we can kind of have that as a place where people can at least look. And if we have to write something on a board, I think I don't know where the easels are. I didn't see them when I was picking up some stuff the other day, so we'll figure that out. It's hard to write on a big screen, so to speak. This is Ashford. We're really big tech. We write with pens and markers and things,
It works.
It works. It's old fashioned, but it works. The only other thing I wanted to add too is that I did find out that the couple of things of interest to both of you. I did catch up with Sherry York. Having to see her, and I talked about the dog park thing. She actually has a meeting next Tuesday, so she's actually going to remember to talk to her commission members about that.
Good.
And then I mentioned, the wonderful job you did, Nora, with the Ashford Outdoors, AshfordCTOutdoors.org, and she said, "Oh yeah." She said, "I got to keep on remembering to, remind people of that." I said, "Well," says, "You got some cards that hopefully you can get her a few that she could have, and at least kind of continue to kind of push that out there with anything she does as well." So, I mean, then the town website's going to be going live on November 13th. There's going to be some training from staff. I think this month on the 23rd or 24th, and they're supposed to be adding stuff in Our Town, Our Future component. I talked about, it's important to have the Ashford CT Outdoors link there as well. They're going to be giving us an official email address, so that Our Town, Our Future will have its own town email address. So it's supposed to be where each group can kind of do some updates to their own little part of the web page. So, again, I don't know how extravagant, our town or future part of it's going to be, if it'll be much of anything to start with. But I mean, at least it has some potential kind of to grow into it a little bit. So we'll see.
Good.
So, yeah, other than that, I'll circle back with all of you hopefully in the next day or two, after I've kind of finalized some things with Catherine. And if there's anything that you feel like we really, really, really should do this. I mean, we're not married to anything. I mean, up until that night, we could decide we want to kind of go with the flow, so to speak. It's read the crowd and say, okay, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this. I mean, the more these things when they do better when they're less structured, sometimes a little more free flowing. And the bottom line is we just want to get people's input and ideas and how we capture those, and then figure out, okay, how are we gonna move forward with these things and keep it going and build upon these things, get more people engaged and doing things, because it's worked. We've had some successes in the past. It's just we'd like to have more than one success every 3 or 4 years, so to speak. So
good.
Okay, any other thoughts?
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, so I may be tied up tomorrow morning, Nora, and tomorrow evening, but for the most part, I should be around. Just let me know what your schedule looks like.
Well, I was thinking, because I know I have something to do first thing in the morning, but I'll probably be out late morning or early afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah, early
Is
afternoon.
either
Right.
one of those?
Yep.
Early afternoon would work.
Yeah,
Okay, so after lunch. All right,
yeah,
I'll give you a call like around 1 or 1:30, something like that.
Okay.
Okay. I know
Sounds like
you're
a
on
plan.
Oaks Road, right?
Yes, it's we're right on the Nipmunk Trail, across from where they ran the marathon this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, I didn't know about that. I would have put it on the Ashford Outdoors website, but I didn't know about it. I mean, even
Yeah.
if it's not a town activity, I want that stuff there
Yeah.
so that we have. Was that the Shinipsit Striders
Right.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
didn't know.
meant to
I didn't
look
know until they
them
put the
up.
sign on the road. They did that Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon late. So that's when when one of my neighbors said, "Oh yeah, it's tomorrow." I said, "Oh, they hold it it doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be like a consistent, weekend in the month or whatever." But so I never really know when they've kind of moved it
Yeah.
around over the years. But you're right. That's another good thing.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, earlier this summer there was a like a little dirt bike marathon, or I don't know if it was a race. I think it must have been a race, but they went down our road, and
Hmm.
we probably get more traffic than Oaks does. but
Yes.
when you see about 50 or 70 little motorcycles ride by, something's happening. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
They
I
used to do
wanted
that
to get all
angel
those
ride.
things on there. Just sorry.
They used to do that angel ride through town. The motorcycles that they ride for fundraisers. It's called the Angel Ride.
I think it was a race,
Oh,
but yeah, but little bikes. They weren't very, they weren't like Harley Davidsons or anything like that.
huh.
There were signs up for that too, and we looked it up. I've totally forgotten what it was, but Joe found it. I think he found the organization, but he did not find any advertising for that particular event. So I wasn't able to even put it up a day late. But
I did mention to Sherry York too that that were the other things you were looking at possibly doing, like when you put up on who's selling eggs in town. But it says that that website has potential to add other things that may be of interest, in town events and things, obviously recreation related or what have you, outdoors related. And so I mean, I think that there may be an opportunity for you just to kind of talk with her and see whether there's any other things that go on with her that you may be able to leverage, or she may be able to leverage your site about too.
I'm sorry, who are you
This is Sherry
suggesting I
York,
talk to?
Sherry York is
Oh
the
yeah, I've
recreation
talked to
director.
Sherry. Yeah, I went and talked to the Parks and Recs group at one of their meetings. It's about a year ago, right before this thing went live, and they were all excited about it, and then they never did anything with it. So
Yeah.
I don't think Sherry is actually the person that would organize it. I think the committee has to plan it and organize it, then she follows through. So I want to meet with just the chair and find out whether um, he thinks it's realistic that they'll actually use it. I mean, I'll certainly give him a lot of possible activity. I did already tell them
Yeah.
different things I thought they could coordinate with the website. They just didn't. I guess I wasn't there at every meeting to remind them. I don't know,
Yeah, maybe they
but
need
they
to look
didn't do
at it.
anything. So
Yeah.
um,
Well,
and
that's the
I want
biggest
to get
challenge.
October events here too.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, truthfully, that's the biggest challenge is, I think you all are energized and follow through and you're doers, and it's just tough when you
Mhm.
have to keep dragging and pushing people, and it's so that's what we try to do with this Our Town, Our Future, these forums, is try to find the, usually the people that come there for the most part are energized, want to do something, want to be involved. I think, there's a few that want to come and complain about stuff, but for the most part, I think there's people that you can tap into and say, hey, you're passionate about this. Why don't you be the sponsor, the person that leads this? And that's what we're trying to find. And if you get one or two, three of those people a meeting, then that's progress.
Yes.
So
Much
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Yeah.
so
Okay.
unless you guys want to each donate some DNA and we can have you cloned.
I will give you a call tomorrow afternoon and I'll swing by to pick up the poster boards
Okay.
and see what I can do about getting them labeled. Okay?
Thank you,
Okay.
Laura. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'll
Sure.
be in
Thanks,
touch.
Mike. Good night, everybody.
Keep smiling. Hope
All
you're feeling
right.
better
Good
there, Maureen.
night.
Take care.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.